I'm representing the United States on behalf of the Center for Political Innovation. And Mr. President, I'd like to echo my partner's sentiments in saying thank you so very much for allowing us to come here. But I'd also like to say that it is a little bittersweet for me to be here because, for example, during the opening ceremony, there was a moment where we were all joining hands. And there was a woman in front of me, and there was a man in a wheelchair, and he was sort of closed off. And I watched her reach her hand down and grab his hand, and they joined hands. And I felt the warmth of humanity. I felt the human spirit. And I see that all over this festival. I see so many people joined together, celebrating humanity. I see so much optimism. I see so much hope. I see so many young people ready to unleash their potential and push humanity forward. And then I thought back home, and I thought about all the people at home who can't afford to get an education, who ruined their lives with drugs because they live in a society that doesn't care for them. And I started to tear up because there's these two sides, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this is the difference between a collapsing society in the West and the rising society that is in the BRICS nation, in the new emerging economy today. So that brings me to my question here today, which is, do you see a world where the West could begin to join the new economy, could begin to join BRICS? And if so, what do you think that would look like?
Before today, everybody wanted to join Western structures, including Russia, that wanted to join the G7. And then we figured that no one cared for our interests then. This is the problem and the main mistake of our Western partners. And I tried to convey this idea when responding to the previous question by our American friend here. And you have mentioned, welfare and education matters. That is difficult, but they cannot afford to get proper education. It is not specific to the United States. It's a worldwide problem, and now lots of people from Latin America want to cross the US border illegally, and there are migrants, and everybody knows that. But this is universal across the globe. Many even rich nations have lots of problems, like the healthcare issues stand high on the European agenda. The United States has always tried to create the most enabling context for top-ranking professionals, high-skilled professionals from across the world, and they offer better and higher salaries, and the Europeans migrated to the United States, therefore. But the world is not fully fair or just, and people with low incomes cannot receive a good education or medical assistance, and they can die on the threshold of a medical establishment if they don't have an insurance policy, which happened a lot. We know about these tragedies, but that does not mean that other countries in the world are fine and they have been able to strike the social balance properly. Our common goal is to provide a level playing field for everybody, equal conditions for all. But I'm convinced that if we are capable to establish a multipolar world where we all are interdependent and mutually reinforcing, social matters and welfare matters, including healthcare and education, will be resolved easier and more efficiently. Because joining hands, we can attain more and do better. Thank you. And we have BRICS